recap right here. All
And
right.
while you do that, I'll just jump right in and oh
It's
my Buckeyes. Man, what a win, boys.
yeah, you come in at a negative time because we just got a linebacker. But I'll let you go ahead, Ron. Give me your overall thoughts since you're jumping in here over the game. I mean, a win's a win. We have said that, and then we're kind of breaking it down by position. But first of all, give me your overall thoughts on the game.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I know you guys weren't just on here sulking for 30 minutes after that win.
No, we weren't sulking. We celebrate our win. A win's a win. We're kind of going down position by position on who played well, who didn't. So we're at your moment. We're linebackers, but first, give me your overall thoughts on the game.
My overall thoughts on the game was this was a typical Ryan Day masterclass of the roller coaster experience that is his play calling, and I feel like I asked Chris Drew on the Bleacher Report instant reaction. Do you like roller coasters? Like, I know you're an Ohio guy. I know Ohio is the roller coaster capital of the world. And Ryan Day was like, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. My play calling is the best thrill ride in Ohio. And like, I feel like we went through the typical Ryan Day frustration and the come to Jesus moment where we have to thank Ryan Day and kiss his feet at the end for saving us. And I felt like that's exactly what we went through. We see the fourth down jet sweep and everybody's ready to throw their Yetis through the TV. And it's like, hold on, the game's not over. And you get down and it's 4th and 1. And we talk about when Justin Fry got here, he said, I want to be able to run the ball when they know we're going to run the ball. We weren't able to do that all game. And it's 4th and 1. The Ohio State Buckeyes, wide receiver you, come out here and take a handoff to win the game with a guy. I mean, bro, I'm going to need both of you guys to get smiles on your face right now because we just watched a Cinderella story of our guy, Chip Trainum, a kid from Akron, just like LeBron, went to Arizona State because the Buckeyes told him he could not be a running back here. He goes to Arizona State, leaves, comes back to play linebacker, and just has a storybook moment like that. I mean, were there frustrating moments in the game? Yes. Would you like to see Ohio State score 52 every game? Absolutely. But we have one rule around here, and it's don't ruin my Saturdays, bro. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys got homework to do after this stream, but you guys got some long faces for a team that just skated out of a loss.
All right, Ryan. So I'm gonna tell you this, okay? Because you're a Steelers fan, right? And
Yes,
you know
sir.
how like I used to get pissed even when we win, when we would just use Hines Ward just to get a 3rd down, and the dude would be open all the time, and we wouldn't scheme up. Like, it's just like I just feel like there's so many times where things can work, and we decide to go against it. And I just feel like this game could have been a whole lot better. Because here's the thing. I'm going to tell you the reason, because people need to know why we did the jet sweep. Because everybody's, why we do the jet sweep? Because you realize, damn, Trey was short. Oh, we think we can get it with Chip, right? So now you bring in Chip. Well, what does Notre Dame defense do? Oh, we know why you bring in Chip. We know what you use him for. This is what I've been telling everybody for the weeks. You do not want to tell with your running backs. So this is why Chip needs to be the number 1 running back, because he can do it all. And so now they developed a box. It's just a lot of things. Yes, am I happy? Did I jump for joy when we won? You absolutely right. I think my wife like snuck and record me or whatever, like my reaction, whether it was we lost or won. So yes, I was excited. I was happy. But the standard is the standard, and I want to hold us to the standard.
Yeah, following that. Sigh of relief that we won, man. I thought, I was like, yo, we are gonna find a way to lose this game. And it felt like the Urban Meyer days where I'm more relieved when we walk out with a win than I am like ecstatic, because I was like, wow, like coming in, I felt like Notre Dame was a good team. I felt like we're going for a natty here. Like, this is the season for the natty. The team that walked out there and played and struggled through the game, they could get a lot better. But I leave so much to be desired from this team. Ryan Day, starting with him, you talked about a Cinderella story. Yeah, but I don't know if he was Cinderella in the story, man.
You guys are just being such killjoys right now. We got 5 days to criticize this team and this performance, man. It is Saturday night, and the Buckeyes just gave us a reason to drink, and not the ones that make you drink by yourself alone being sad. Like, a celebratory. This is, I mean, I was ready to fire everyone. And speaking of that, I was ready to fire everyone, but I've now whittled my list down to just one person. And since you guys want to doom and gloom it, I will fire someone right now. Parker Fleming, you have one job. Kick the ball in bounds and end the damn game. But no, we kicked the ball out of bounds. So again, our weekly segment sponsored by whoever, please fire Parker Fleming. You are an absolute joke of a human. What were your guys' thoughts when you saw him kick it out of bounds? You had to have been like,
it was predictable. I expected them to screw it up some way, somehow, and make it and give Notre Dame a chance. Me and Mike said, kick it out the end zone.
Yeah.
The chance of scoring on our defense from the 20 is slim to none. Just kick it out the end zone.
I thought they were going to come out an onside kick. Like,
we were literally sitting in the studio like,
kick it out of bounds.
Yeah. Like, just go ahead and do that. But hey, it is what it is, man. You know, Parker Fleming is going to do Parker Fleming things. Just like, hey, you know, we saw a spark last year from JB on punt return. But, you know, when his team needed a spark, right? When his team needed momentum, what did he do?
He ain't playing.
Yeah, bro. This is ridiculous, bro.
Getting back to what you're saying, the reason I feel so like, and yeah, big time win, top 10 game on the road, you come with it. I just felt like Ryan Day himself, and we can go to Day, was really challenged this week. And he brought a little bit on himself. He said, hey, I'm going to come out. I'm going to come loose. I'm going to air it out. Lou Holtz, who he called out after the game, but for 55 minutes, Lou Holtz was right. This team, you got 2 4th and 1s, and you threw a pass rollout and a jet sweep. Like, Lou Holtz was right for 55 minutes. So Ryan Day, who I expected, like, I want to see the UGA Ryan Day. We ain't got CJ Stroud, but hey, we got Kyle McCord. Go air it out. Go challenge them. Run it on 4th and 1 from the 1. Like, even if you don't get it, it was like, yo, like, we put our nuts on the line and we went for it. Like, no, we didn't see none of that. So it just has my question of, like, yeah, do I think we can skate through the Big Ten and get to a matchup with Michigan to go to the Big Ten and go to the playoffs? Yeah. But do I have confidence leaving out that Ryan is going to come and be the guy we know he can be? I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah. If you want to leave me with a feeling, that's how I feel coming out this game.
Hey.
I'm just so thankful they were able to get out of here with a win because, man, would this be a long season taking an L? Because, like, I mean, do you guys remember how much air that loss to Oregon took out of the 2021 season so early? Like, man, Lions season is still here, man. I'm like, I see, bro. I'm so glad that I joined this because, bro, right now. You guys were about to have a funeral procession on here, and I had to stop this doom and gloom. Pumping the sunshine.
Yeah, maybe we need to start drinking because
I'm not even drinking. I'm high off the Buckeye Kool-Aid, bro.
It's even dark in Arizona right now, so the sunshine has
bro.
Make sure y'all smashing that like button, run it up, leave your thoughts in the comments. We will be getting to that.
After Chip Trainum scored that touchdown, bro, in honor of Akron, I was ready to go put my phone posits on and go run wind sprints out in front of my house just in the name of Akron. Like, everyone knows that the phone posits are the official shoe of Akron. And like Chris Drew says, there's something in the water in Akron because the kids there are just different. And to see Chip be able to come out and just get that win, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just too in the moment to have a negative reaction because I'm just so thankful to come out of this game with a win. It's hard to think about some of the things that they had issues with. Obviously, the offense has to be more dynamic. Not getting the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. till the second quarter is inexcusable. Again. I actually called Chris Drew at the end of the first quarter and said, is Marv playing? Like, it doesn't make sense that he's able to be completely schemed out of games. I don't think if Ryan Day is the play caller that he says he is, and again, who am I, Hall of Fame Twitter coach, to criticize him after that win. But I'm like, you have to find ways to get him involved in the game early, because I feel like Ohio State has this, all right, I'm done playing play. And it's when Marv comes out and just runs a slant and says, I'm going to take 8 yards because I'm Marvin Harrison Jr. And, like, we waited until the second quarter to run that. Why, when these drives stall or we're not having success early, do we not go, we have the son of a Hall of Famer that is more physically gifted than his Hall of Fame father, and we're chasing a Biletnikoff for him. How about we throw him the ball?
Or just do that before we absolutely have to. Like, like I'm with you. Lead with that. Like, whatever works, lead with that next time. And then let's work our way.
It's like you're at the bar talking to a girl and she's not interested with you and you forgot to tell her you drive a Ferrari. Like, bro, if you don't open with that,
open with it. That's my question. It's just like when time, I feel like you see the true team when times really get desperate. But luckily enough, we haven't got to those desperate points where it's not too late. And then that's my fear later in the season. Like, oh, yeah, we'll ride Marvin and Mecca when we really have to. It's like, well, if we were playing a team that was going to come light us up, it wouldn't even matter at this point. We'd be down by 20. So, like, just lead with that. Let's go with stuff that we know that works. And then we'll bring in stuff that may or may not work later if we absolutely have to. That's a little bit another point of, like, come on, man. We got Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Egbuka. They're winning their one-on-one matchups most of the time. Like, oh, yeah, we got Marv. Let's throw it up to him. Oh, he makes a great catch. Like, yeah, we knew that a quarter ago.
At any point during the game, did you think the Buckeyes were going to lose?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, let's talk about it. Was I not posting in the group chat? That's all, folks. Like, game over. So I really felt like that, bro. How could you not feel like that?
So, as you guys know, obviously, you're sitting here doing an instant reaction. When you're doing an instant reaction, you have to write the show while the game's going on. And like I always, as a fan of sports, I would watch these sports shows because sports media traditionally has been journalists talking on TVs. It hasn't really been the new media where you get to see our beautiful faces out here talking after the games because we don't have a degree in English. But one of the things that people would always talk about is writing on deadline, how you have to write 2 stories. And when we were getting ready for the instant reaction, I'm sitting in the Bleacher Report studio and I'm typing, did Marcus Freeman get outcoached? Did Ryan Day get outcoached? Is Ohio State still a playoff team? Is Notre Dame still a playoff team? Because during that game, at one point, all of my polls were reacting to an Ohio State loss because I thought they were going to ruin my Saturday. Like I thought we were going to be depression drinking, like not enjoying ourselves and just down bad on this, looking like the Marquise Lightfoot stream on here when we thought we was about to have a party and get text 5 minutes before this kid commits, and it's like not coming. And it's like now we got to do this.
Let me show you what I did, bro. I sent my wife to the grocery store. I said, "Go pick me up something, please. Please go pick me up something, bro. Pick me up something nice and cold."
I literally was like, I'm gonna be talking to Robbie more than my boss this week. This is just how the week is going to go. He's gonna call me every 5 minutes if we lose this game.
My biggest worry is like, do I put the trolls out now or do I start lighting them up for breakfast tomorrow? Like, good morning.
So Ryan, I want to ask you, Ryan, how do you grade out Kyle McCord?
I give him a C-.
That's fair.
Because I feel like anything lower than that is unfair because at the end of the day, he did answer the call when he needed to. He delivered a strike to Emeka. For the most part, he protected the ball, and that's the one thing. And that's the one thing that we've talked about, all of us across the platform, is I don't care who the fucking quarterback is, protect the ball. You have to protect the ball. Like, you cannot turn the ball over, and you have to keep us in it. So I think him being able to do that and then standing up in the moment was huge, but at the same time, it didn't look like a Ryan Day's offense, and you want to see him be able to deliver those strikes.
Yeah, and I had one for y'all when you asked about did you think we were going to lose? Kyle McCord obviously answered the bell, but do y'all think we got outplayed?
Who? I
Ohio
will
State.
say in the second half, yes, bro. The way that they were able to move the ball almost at will. You're talking about pinning them down on the 4-yard line and then them just moving the ball down. Even let's talk about the first half. If they didn't go for it on fourth or whatever, and they actually just went ahead and kicked field goals, I mean, we could probably be talking about going into overtime. Like, I mean, they dominated us in the trenches, and that's not something that I like to see at all. So, were you talking about the trench play, run game, or run defense? Yeah, we got outplayed there. I will say this: I do like what I saw from the DBs, man. You know, we've been critical of the DBs, but I guarantee you this: if these was the DBs of the last couple years, we wouldn't even been able to come back in this game. Trust me, man. They was even making open field tackles as well. So that was very impressive.
Ron,
What's that?
do you think we got outplayed?
I don't think so. We won the game. Our defense played one of the most.
That
What
doesn't
kind of
mean
question is
outplayed.
that? Like, no, we scored more points than them. Like, our defense held their team to less points than us. Like, I mean, did Sam Hartman outplay Kyle McCord? Maybe, but like as a team, no. We went out there and scored more points than the other team. I think we were undisciplined at times, and that's something that we'll absolutely have to dive into. Our offensive line tried to sell and lose this game on multiple occasions. I talk about the most frustrating thing with watching Ohio State football is when our tackles jump off sides. Like, bro, it's a silent count. Like, what are you doing? Like, at one time, I thought bro was drunk at left guard because he just fell out of his stance trying to pull way too early. It was frustrating to watch, but overall, I don't think we got outplayed. Our defense keeps coming in and week out. The tests keep escalating, and they come and answer the call. So, no, I don't believe that they got outplayed. I think Ohio State is a team that has a lot of people, a team that's still figuring out a lot of things, and the fact that they're learning on the fly. And I feel like that's why it doesn't look pretty. But I have faith as long as they keep winning, they'll have the opportunity to get better, because at the end of the day, we're nitpicking a top 25 win over a super experienced quarterback with a defense that has 3 new starters in the secondary, a second-year defensive coordinator that had a lot of questions coming into this season, and they're coming in and getting the job done and keeping us in this game, because you see, even with Kyle struggling, we were able to stay in this game because of our defense. We saw Travion Henderson have a long run and be who we know he can be. We saw Kyle McCord step up in the moment and do what he had to do to get the win. We saw Chip Trainum get the tough yards when needed after we saw the team struggle to do it. And then you saw the defense get stops when they absolutely had to. So, no, I don't think we got outplayed, and I think that's the reason why we won the game.
I do think we got outplayed a bit. I'm with Mike on Warner's hand. I thought Notre Dame at times really had control. Now, this defense, much credit to Jim Knowles, much credit to secondary. It was as bend of don't breakish as you could be, because Notre Dame did drive a lot but couldn't capitalize. So credit to them. They finally got stops, even though it was like, man, I wish we got that stop 4 third downs ago. But it is what it is. But for the most part, I thought Notre Dame had good control of the game at points. And it was just those moments where, and credit to Ohio State for it, it was like when we absolutely last minute had to have it, we got it. But at points too, I would say Ohio State outplayed UGA last year, and we didn't win the game. So I can't go one way on that one and not go way the other. I thought Notre Dame outplayed us a little bit. Also too, we didn't get to coaches yet, so let's jump into that. Jim Knowles, we talked about it here. We hadn't talked about it, Ron. I'll give you first crack at it coming in. What grade would you give Jim Knowles overall, and overall his thoughts on the defense and how they play?
Man, I don't know what to give Jim Knowles, to be honest with you. Like, is this a new defense? What's going on? You started dialing up pressure when you knew that we needed to get a stop against Sam Hartman, but you knew that Sam Hartman's a veteran quarterback, and that you need to get pressure on him all game to make him uncomfortable. And that if you watch the film on him, you know he's vulnerable to make mistakes when he has pressure in his face, right? And we didn't do that. How do I grade Jim Knowles? I mean, dang, bro, you're talking about holding the team to what? 14 points. Playing bend don't break, almost like this was a trestle ball. Man. Okay. I'll give him a B just overall. But as a $2 million coordinator, you get a C.
All right. Ron.
One more time.
Jim Knowles, what grade would you give him, and how do you think overall his defense performed?
A+. Again, I don't think that you could ask for a better performance out of this defense. Jim Knowles last year, the biggest criticism of Jim Knowles was long plays breaking the back of this team. And one of the things that he said when he first came in was that he doesn't want to be considered a bend don't break type of coordinator. He actually presents that type of term. He likes to have an offensive defense, but he had to be reminded, you're at Ohio State, buddy. The team is littered with 5 stars, and we got Ryan Day calling a roller coaster of a game back there. We need you to bend, not break, because we can't let you out there thinking you're Ryan Day trying to play offense on defense, chasing points, and gamble us out of a game and have a team put up 28 because you're giving up those 5 to 7 big plays. And I feel like his ability to change his defense, put guys in the right positions to be able to perform, I think that has enabled them to be able to have the success that they had. And that's why we saw the performance that we saw out of that defense, that he was able to tone down his gambling and call the game that needs to be called to give this team an opportunity to win. And that's something that I feel like he had to learn after last season is, hey, buddy, you're not the star of the show here. Like, we pay you $2 million. There's someone that we pay you even more for because he has an offense that can go out there and win the game. And we can't have you putting him in bad positions and not being able to win because you're out here gambling on defense. And as Chris likes to say, he went to Blitzers Anonymous, and he was able to get his issues fixed because we didn't see him out there recklessly gambling. We didn't see the huge plays breaking because we're doing, running Engage 8 like this is our first day on Madden on, third down. So I absolutely give this game an A+. Apologies to Jim Knowles. Hats off to him. Shouts out to his family. I know they're probably listening or will hear this eventually, but I think Jim Knowles called a great game. I think this defense, again, answered the call. And again, I don't want to be overly critical of a team that went out there and held a veteran quarterback to 14 points and got us the win.
Yeah, of course. I thought Jim Knowles' defense did his job. I now still have questions about his position group and how they played. But as far as the defense as a whole, I thought they did their job. I thought they limited Notre Dame only scoring 14 points after putting, what were they averaging, 56 coming in? And wasn't getting much competition, but those guys were going crazy. So him limiting them down, I would leave with more questions of the offense and can we get into a shootout and win more than I would the defense. And if we have a slug fight, can we win it? Because we just won one, 17-14. So obviously we can do that. And I know in these games, he's not giving up crazy points, and he's getting a little bit better. So, and this defense has been rock solid this year. I thought my problem is some things got exposed to where I'm like, Jim Knowles, you might have to fix that coming in later. And I'm starting to see a little bit of consistencies there. But the secondary is so much improved that, like, really, we're not getting beat by the shot plays. Teams are going to have to nickel and dime us to do that. And chances of them doing that, going for 80 yards every time downfield is slim to none. So B+ for Jim Knowles. Thought he did his job. More so won us the game than I thought the offense did by just keeping Notre Dame limited. So I would go there with him. I thought he did his job, and hats off to him. Did a little work on the room, but can't be too mad. And then wrapping it up with Ryan Day. We've talked about him at spots here, but thoughts of Ryan Day. Mike, I'll go to you first. Ryan Day, giving him a grade here. What do you think of him, and what do you think going forward in the season? What we're going to get from him, because obviously you have some questions, but he does pull out a win. Overall thoughts on Ryan Day?
I give Ryan Day a C+, and the reason why it's not a B is because, like Ryan Day, you're no longer a young coach anymore. you've been here. Sometimes I felt like the calls in key situations was suspect. You say this is a tough team. I feel you. I understand what you said in the post game, but show us that this is a tough team. Stop showing finesse on short downs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see this be a tough team. Show that this is Ohio. Ohio is ground smash mouth football. When we say we gonna run the ball, we gonna run the ball. So, you know, Ryan Day, I do want to see him do better. Now, I will say this. He did, like I said, there were guys open. Kyle got to do a better job of scheming it up. But I just feel like as the head coach, you're the head man. You've been calling plays for Ohio State since, 2018? I just expect more out of you in that situation.
Ron.
I give Ryan Day a C.
I was expecting an A+, as positive you've been.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
like, what the world is going on? Like,
I give Ryan Day a C because it's the typical Ryan Day experience. I mean, there were moments that I felt like F. There was moments that I felt like A+, and that's why he gets a C. Because again, Ryan, they should name whatever the craziest roller coaster at Cedar Point the Ryan Day experience, because that's exactly what it is. Watching him call these big games, because sometimes it's like you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you'll get Michigan Ryan Day, some days you'll get Georgia Ryan Day, and then you'll get days like this where both of them will come to play. And it's like, all right, I don't know which one's going to be the last one calling the plays at the end of the game, but I sure hope it's the one that can get this done. Again, I've been pumping sunshine the majority of this stream, but for the most part, Ryan Day has to bear some of the weight of the criticism there, because I feel like he tried to coach himself out of this game. And I don't know if you guys had this in the show notes or plan to talk about Justin Fry, bro. Again, we talk about the offensive line and how they've had struggles, and it hasn't ever been with, man, I just saw Josh Simmons get thrown into Kyle McCord, or our guards are getting blown off the ball. We'd never see that. You rarely see Ohio State getting out physical, but what you do see is them making consistent mental mistakes. And where is the discipline on this team? And it's beyond frustrating that you see these false starts in critical times. And I feel like a lot of times, and some of the struggles that we're seeing with Kyle McCord is this offensive line is shooting him in the foot with these false starts, with these he delivered that strike on what is the third down where Josh Fryer got the unnecessary roughness, where he's just jumping on a guy. I think that might be one of the most frustrating plays that I've seen in all of college, in all of football this season. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Are you like, just go out there and give them the game? Like, it's just truly unacceptable. And for a guy that's like so square jaw, tough guy, no nonsense, bro, leave that tough guy act for the interview, bro, and go scream at your damn tackles with all of their issues that they're having with these penalties. Because, bro, I appreciate the never rattled mentality when I see you in interviews, bro, but I want to see never rattled from your tackles, because these guys come out here and week after week are making undisciplined penalties that are inexcusable, and that needs to come to an end. Are you guys happy now that I mean, we've been here. I came here with tons of joy, but you guys were like, you don't enjoy this game. So like, what was the negative, Ron? Can you be a little bit more negative? I know you were enjoying your Saturday, but can you bring the vibes down a little bit? I'm sorry I was vibing too much for you guys. I didn't want everyone to enjoy their Saturday too much.
For the wrong thing, like you blaming in what's the name? Josh Fryer. For a pancake block, and it's like, bro, like Orlando Pace would have never made the first round. Like, you know how many other tackles wouldn't have made it?
Yeah, that pancake block, that call, I've never seen that called.
We're gonna hear that it was. We're gonna hear that it was not. It shouldn't have been a penalty. They're gonna come back and say it. We'll hear it at the press conference on Tuesday.
Yeah, but and it was funny too when Josh Simmons got the penalty. He finally, because all game we were like, all right, well, he's been pretty quiet, no false starts. And he finally gets the false start, and they pull up the stat line. It's the most false start penalties.
He's the most penalized tackle in all of college football, bro.
I was like, they didn't have to do that. That was
They
wrong.
didn't have to do that.
I want to ask you this. What would Urban's reaction be?
Oh, Urban, man. Urban, this game might have, he might have to retire after this game because, man, his
Might have to
blood
take a knee
pressure.
himself.
He would have passed out on the field like he did after the Team Up North game. But, I mean, you got to, hey, I'll say this, Josh Simmons, he only got one penalty this game, right?
Yeah, just one.
All right. I just want y'all to remember Isaiah Prince, man. He averaged about 3 of them a game. So,
Hall of Fame performances as far as penalties is concerned. He's got the gold jacket.
Yeah.
Josh Simmons is still not him. But overall thoughts, man. Leaving out this with Ryan Day, I leave with. I thought I was gonna get some answers, and if I had to give Ryan Day a grade, I may give him a C. I mean, I'll maybe be with you, Ron. I mean, he did some things where I was like, okay, like cool, like I see it, but just coming in and getting challenged, I just didn't see the fire maybe I wanted to see. I didn't see the aggressiveness maybe I wanted to see. I wanted him to have his team come out and ready to run through a wall. And at good points of this game, I did think Notre Dame was more physical. I mean, I'm sitting here like, okay, 4th and 1, run the ball, does it twice. Finally does it on the 3rd time. He's like, well, I screwed it up the last 2 times. Those aren't working. I guess I'll run it. And he finally gets success. So maybe it was just that. Maybe if one of them had worked, he probably would have passed it again on 4th down. But just setting the tone for your coach going into the season, which is very important. And Ryan Day has to be on his A game for us to win this natty. And this season, I feel like it's the time we have to win a natty. First big game, I wanted more. I didn't get. He won the game, so all credit to him for that. I didn't get what I wanted. At times in this game, I'm like, bro, you're letting Marcus Freeman keep up with you? Like as much as I like Marcus Freeman, if Marcus Freeman's coaching my team and we go into a natty, I think we got no chance. I don't think he's on that level of coaches yet. So I'm like, look, man, it's time to put your master class together. And I got to say it again, Luke Holtz had some credit to what he was saying because for the most part, he was not wrong. So Ryan Day,
bro, you gonna slide in his DMs after the game, man?
Yeah, I might have
time
to.
You apologize
like,
for him.
Let me know what you was watching before because you had some to you. But Ryan Day gets the win. That's the most important thing. I want to see more. It's only 4 games into the season, but I would say a C for now. But rolling into those Penn State, Michigan games, I got to see more.
Yeah, definitely have to see more. But I wanted to ask you guys, man, like, could this be the last time that we see this Notre Dame team? Because, like, let's say this Notre Dame team, hold on, just hear me out. Let's say this Notre Dame team is legit. They run it, this their only loss, right? And then Ohio State runs the table. Like, Notre Dame has a real argument, like, wow, our only loss was to Ohio State, which will probably be, if Ohio State runs the table, a top 3 team. Like, and you know how hard it is to beat a team twice, man. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think about the possibility of a Notre Dame Ohio State round 2?
Go ahead, Ron.
Go ahead, Q. No, go ahead.
Oh, them having 0 experienced receiver core is the only reason I would say I wouldn't fear that, because Sam Hartman, as good as he is, he didn't have much to throw to in this game. Those guys were not creating major separation unless it was a blimp in the secondary. They really were not getting open. They didn't really challenge us. I mean, Igmanoza got beat one time. It is what it is. It's going to happen. But they don't have the horses. And that's what I said coming into the game. They don't have the horses on the outside to really threaten us. The running back they talked about, yeah, all right. Like, it sounded good before the game. I didn't see anything that scared me there. So I just don't think they'd have the weapons to really beat us. I mean, you put it there. I would hope we play better at the end of the year than we are right now. It wouldn't scare me then either. I just don't think they have the horses. The running game with the offensive line definitely is there. Their defense, I mean, Marvin and Mecca out there didn't go crazy. So definitely they showed up. Those corners showed up. their linebacker showed up and kept our running backs in pretty good check. But just without those weapons, I mean, you get into those late stages of the season, those are really shootouts, and it's never really a grinded out. It's always let's score more points. So if that's the case, I wouldn't fear them. Could they make it? Yeah, they could, but I wouldn't fear them in a rematch.
Okay.
I think this is the last time we see them this season. I don't think with the way this playoff picture is shaping up, I think they'd put in a one-loss Big Ten team over Notre Dame just because they're not going to have a championship win and they're not going to have the signature win that a one-loss Big Ten team would have to have if someone does run the table in the Big Ten. So no, I don't think they're going to be in. I think this rules them out. I think we're going to see a SEC champion. I think we're going to see a Big Ten champion. I think we're going to see a Pac-12 champion, and I think we're going to see a Big 12 champion in the. And that's not even. And we're not even talking about the ACC, bro. You know what I mean? Miami's still out there. They're 4-0. So I mean, don't rule anything out. But like, I just don't think. We're going to hear from this Notre Dame in the conversation of playoffs the rest of the year, just because you know what I mean. Shout out that. I mean, call the playoff committee and show them your TV deal because that matters to you guys so much more than a conference. So, I mean, don't come crying when everyone told you to get into a conference. Don't come crying when the playoff committee goes, oh, they didn't play in a conference championship and there's 7 other one-loss teams that played better schedules. But you know what I mean? You guys are the class of the of college football and don't need a conference. So again, don't cry when the playoff rankings come out because I think your season's over because you guys think you're too good to play a conference championship game. And when you lose a game like this, you still have an opportunity to compete for something like that if you're actually in a conference. But now you have a loss. You're not going to be, you know what I mean? You're not guaranteed to be playing a Michigan, an Ohio State, a Penn State, a USC, and Oregon in a season that you're not going to have the strength of schedule in the big time signature wins to make the case. We're past the point in a 14 playoff, maybe when the 12-team playoff starts, but we are beyond the point of, hey, I just got through my cupcake schedule. Look at me. I only lost to the one good team that I played. Well, that's not enough in the 14 playoff era. We'll see you next year when there's 12 teams and people get spots that they shouldn't get. But I feel like that's a game that you have to win with as many talented teams that are out there right now and how few playoff spots there actually are.
Yeah, there's not enough out there. When a 12 team comes in, I'm sure they'll find a spot for them year in, year out because they're the Cinderella of college football, apparently. But yeah, they just do themselves such a disservice by not being in a conference and having a chance to go get a conference victory that even doesn't matter how hard they make their schedule. I mean, those things are going to weigh just because of the way the conferences in college football is set up. I mean, I don't think Notre Dame particularly plays a pancake schedule. They always at least get somebody along with USC and Clemson or somebody else on the schedule. So it's not like they're going out, soft completely. But also, too, it's like, there's no championship game. They're already missing a week at the end of the season where they're playing Navy while Alabama and Georgia are playing, or Ohio State and Wisconsin are playing, or something like that. And it's like you're just doing yourself a disservice. So I don't want you, Ron. I don't think they make it over, especially Pac-12, the way it's looking right now. Oregon, I saw the writing on the wall for Colorado, but Oregon looked crazy. You got USC out there. I think they'll definitely get one of them in. Texas, one at Alabama. You expect them to run the table. We'll see what happens. Texas made Texas, and they went last week with a nail biter against Wyoming. But I would expect them to run the table. SEC is going to get one in, and I expect the Big Ten to get one in.
I agree with all of that, guys. I mean, I just wanted to throw it out there because here's the thing. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, maybe this Notre Dame team is that good, right? Maybe they go and they do beat a USC. I know they got Clemson on their schedule, but Clemson's not really that good. But maybe, like, they do have that chance is what I was thinking, because I do think that their defense is better than last year, and I do believe that their offense is better than last year.
I mean, maybe they should have joined the ACC. The way Florida State come out looking at the last couple of weeks in Clemson, that's a free championship almost right there. If you can play at a high level and just win those games, which seem very winnable right now. So that's the thing. You put them with a one loss at Ohio State and the ACC champion, they're probably in. So
I mean, they did beat all of their ACC opponents last year too. So
That's what I'm saying. So that's the perks. The conferences don't necessarily have to be good for that conference championship to be worth a lot. So, but unfortunately for them, they want to be independent, with the major NBC deal. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's my point of that. But yeah, just to recap, Ohio State outduels Notre Dame in the
Whoa. I got to stop you. I was on mute and they stopped me from cutting you off. But, bro, I have to. I'm just glad to see that smile. You decided to take that frown that you tattooed on before the show. Like, I jump in this stream thinking, man, we're about to celebrate a big Buckeye win. And you guys are in here looking like you guys are having a meeting about your dog getting loose and you don't know where he's at and it's starting to get dark. Like, bro, we just won a ranked matchup in prime time. Mike, I need to see some teeth. I need smiles on this stream.
Well, see, you came in a little late. We celebrated the victory early on, then we jumped into our breakdown. So you missed the first 20 minutes. We were like, hey, a win's a win. We get out of here with a win. So quick recap,
I'm not the only one that missed it.
But yeah, man, we outduel Notre Dame 17-14. Kyle McCord versus the Sam Hartman battle.
Jeez.
Sorry, I had a mean cough.
He needs some water.
Kyle McCord 21-37 for 240 yards. Sam Hartman finished 17-25 for 175 and 1 TD, and then obviously Travion Henderson going 14 for 104 with that 75-yard touchdown. Sort of carried the day. I just want to get final thoughts from you guys. So as we wrap up, we do get out with a win. It is what it is. We move on to next week. Mike, thoughts going forward?
Man, my thoughts on the game, glad we came out with a W. Don't have to hear, Notre Dame fans just yelling at my inbox and everything. And I probably got a couple bookmarks, you know what I'm saying? About to go see if some tweets are deleted as well. But shout out to the Buckeyes, man. They really needed this. Hopefully they can build on this. Like me and Q talked about. Hopefully they can build on this because this right here, going on the road, hostile environment, is going to help you for that trap game of Wisconsin. It's going to help you for that end of the year game against Penn State. But also, not Penn State, but that team up north in Ann Arbor, right? But also, when you do get in a tight game, when the chips are down, we've seen this team fold, and they didn't, right? They didn't this time. They didn't fold. They fought back. So, that's my overall thoughts on that, man. I am proud about that. You happy, Ryan?
You know I am. I say this all the time. We don't get many happy Saturdays, and we have one roll around here, and it's Don't Ruin My Saturdays. And I had a ball watching that game. We were able to get the dub, and we're gonna be talking crazy, bro. I'm ready to talk crazy. People talk crazy to us. I'm just excited that we got the dub and we were able to get on here and celebrate a Buckeye victory. We will have a whole week and host of shows criticizing, critiquing, and digging into the nitty-gritty behind this loss. But right now, in the moment, I'm ready to enjoy a victory, man. So there's plenty of places that you'll be able to tap in with us this week to get even more coverage on this game. We're gonna have Dogs Film Room. We're gonna have the flagship Buckeye BS tomorrow at 10 a.m. We got so much stuff on the slate ahead of us. So make sure that you are tapped in with the best damn media because we are going to be digging into every aspect of this game throughout the week.
Yeah, and just overall going forward, like you said, survive in advance. This is still the time where losing those games, losing any game kind of derails your season. So we go in there, we survive. Obviously, a lot to work on going forward, but 4-0, chance to go 5-0. That's the best thing. So going there, it is what it is. We get out of there with a win, big time performance. Kyle McCord throws a dot at the end of the game to put us on the 1 yard line, and then Chip Trainum runs it in as time should have expired. I don't know what run where you're getting tackled going in the end zone from the goal line takes only 2 seconds from the shotgun, but I guess in their rest time that does exist.
Wrestlers changing the rules as the game went on.
I'm like, no way.
I'm just so glad that Q got that big cough and all that hate was able to get out of his
Oh, my
heart.
goodness.
He was able to cough that up and enjoy the rest of his Saturday because, man, the Buckeyes are still undefeated.
Yeah, man. So big shout out to Mark Rogers TV. We get out with a win. Thank you for having us on a recap. Make sure you hit the comments. Let us know what you thought going back. Let me know what you thought, going forward. Thoughts of Ryan Day. Thoughts of the game overall. It was a classic game, man. Happy or upset with the performance. It kept you out of your seat to the very end, and that's what we want out of college football. So you do get that excitement. Mike, where can the people find you? Generally, they want to get more thoughts from you.
Man, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at 216_wildboy. You can also catch me tomorrow on Buckeye BS on Best Damn Media with Ron, with Q, and our guy Cam every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You can also catch me Wednesdays on the Best Damn Media Network as well. We'll have the Fans Edge. That's our national show, where we talk about everything around college football as well, man. And we'll be here every Saturday after the Ohio State game. They got a bye week next week, so I'm going to be at a tailgate. But definitely catch us Saturday on the on the pregame, because I'll be live from the tailgate.
Absolutely. If you go ahead, Q.
Go ahead, Ron.
No, if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at 2Ts. That's 2_TEES. You can find me on Twitch at the same thing. You can find me on TikTok at 2Shiesty. If you didn't get enough content and instant reaction from this channel, make sure you download the Bleacher Report app and catch me and Chris Drew in there. We did a post game over there as well. We have the flagship tomorrow, Buckeye BS, with my guys Q, Mike. Our guy Cam will be back in the fold, so we'll be doing a deep dive on the game, probably a 2-hour episode tomorrow. So make sure that you tap in at 10 a.m. for Buckeye BS. And then, of course, Monday through Friday with my guy Q for the Buckeye Roast. He's now settled in to Arizona QP Ski. He is there with his camera working. He will be there in the mornings doing the show with me. So we will be back on our normal schedule. I set my weekly alarm for 6:50 that I shut off last week, and if anyone watches our show regularly knows we were late every single day. So we will be back on our schedule, locked in on Monday. So make sure you tap in for the Buckeye Roast every morning.
Yeah, man. For me, I'm City Boy Quitting on Twitter. Obviously, Best Damn Media all over there. Morning show. I might even have to join a Fans Edge show one of these times, and definitely Buckeye BS. Sundays we do that. We do instant reactions here on Mark Rogers TV. So again, appreciate him having us. We come in here, share our thoughts, love to connect with you guys, love to get your thoughts, and really appreciate him having us on this good platform. All in all, the Buckeyes win. We get out of here. It's Survive in Advance. I want to appreciate y'all joining us. Make sure to smash that like button. Like the video, share the video, get it out there. Want to keep this conversation going. Like Ron said, we had a whole week to react to this. It's just initial reaction. So coming in, a lot of emotions. We shared our thoughts. Want to get to you and want to hear yours. Make sure you like the video again. Tap in with us. That's all I got. Final thoughts, guy. Anything you got before we out of here?
A win is a win.
Win is a win.
The best thing about being 4-0?
Chance to go 5-0. We out of here, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Catch you next time.